That's a good way to start off. Good morning. Welcome to the Stay in Your Lane podcast with Devontae Adams. I'm back with you for another day. Y'all back rolling. Welcome to the front seat. We are in Daytona. Well, I'm lying. We're not in Daytona. That was my... We're not in Daytona. We are a little bit outside of Orlando. Hey, we finally made it. We finally made it to the delivery where we about to be there in about 38 minutes. So y'all sit back, turn me on mute, and just ride, yo. Just ride. We're gonna have a... Hey, you ever had a celebrity crush? Has it ever just been like a singer or an actor or something that you just like fell in love with and you feel like you just knew them? Like, man, I got this one female singer, right? And for the last week, like, I've always liked this singer, but for the past week, I felt like I'm like in a relationship with this woman. Like, I listened to her songs and it just felt like she's speaking to my heart. Like, nah, that's crazy. But yeah, you know, it would be so dope. It would be so cool if you could like meet your celebrity crush. Not even on no weird fan type shit, you know. Just like, you just want to meet them. You just want to feel their presence, sense their essence. You know what I'm saying? Just see what they smell like. And not even like on like the creepy vibes, but it's like I'm going to put it like this. If somebody has been listening to me rant for like 10, 15, 20 years, wouldn't you want to meet that person? Like, wouldn't you want to meet them? Like, just once? Like, damn, like, how one-sided is that to where I feel like I've known you for like the last 20 years, but I have no idea what you look like in person. That's how I feel. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. So, what I want to do is, and I've never even like been to a concert, because the last time, I was gonna go to this singer's concert one time, but I don't watch concerts online. I don't watch the concerts. So I was getting ready to buy the tickets, and I looked up on YouTube the footage from the concerts, and I was like, man, I ain't even gonna lie, the concert looked kind of weak. It don't even look like it's fun, you know? So I'm thinking like, I want to do a different kind of, like, if they have some kind of meet and greet, like, I just want to go and just like meet and greet, or at least be in a close proximity. Like, I don't want to be with 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 other people, you know, in the bandstands, because, you know, I'm broke, so I'm not gonna be up front. If I get a concert ticket, I'm gonna probably be out in the parking lot with binoculars trying to watch this concert. No, I want to be up close and personal. And you know, I think that that's only right, because as the singer, you wasn't always rich. There was at one point, you know, you was broke. That's probably why you started doing what you do. So that's what I want to do. That's my plan. But anyway, let me get to the topics at hand. I was looking around the news. I didn't really see anything interesting for this morning. Paul McCartney almost got ran over. And I guess he was trying to film something. I don't even know. Like, I don't fuck with Paul McCartney like that, so I really couldn't care less. But let's talk about these boys. Now, before you click off, let's talk about these boys. Hey, Cowboys, why we gotta play Tom Brady, man? Why we have to play, like, and it's gonna be the first playoff game. Wasn't that the first game of the season? That was the first game of the season, yo. Like, I'm starting to think that the NFL is rigged. I'm starting to think that it's rigged. Like, when we played Washington last week, I feel like they made it to where we would get blown out, because they felt like if we lost that game and we had to play the Bucs in the first round of the playoffs, it would be a better game. And I think that they're right. I think it would be a better game. not necessarily an easier game. I don't think it would be an easier game. I think it would be more entertaining, because, you know, everybody's trying to put Tom Brady in his grave. Not literally. Like, we're not trying to kill him, man. But we are trying to, you know, go and make him retire. We're trying to end that career. So I think the Cowboys are gonna pull it off next Monday night. I think we got the night game. So we're gonna spank that ass, and we're gonna go ahead and put him where he needs to be, which is in a retirement home. all due respect to Tom Brady, he is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. I give him his credit. I'm not taking nothing from him. But at the end of the day, I'm sick of seeing his face. Y'all are tired of hearing my voice. I'm sick of seeing Tom Brady's face with a football with his cheating ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's happening next week. As far as stories go for you, I wanted to tell y'all the story about how like this dude wanted to kill me over, like literally shoot me dead over like a parking space. It wasn't a parking space, it was a loading dock. And then I was like, okay, well how can I tell that story? Like how can I make that story like really, really long? And then I was thinking about it. I was like, no, I'm telling y'all the New Orleans COVID story. Yes, I'm telling y'all the New Orleans. Okay, so check this out. Back during COVID, everybody was quarantining, right? Everybody was quarantining in the house. Nobody was working except essential workers. And I mean, for trucking, it was a great time. For everybody else, it was horrible because everybody couldn't work. But you know what? Hey, all the people that worked at McDonald's and got them stimulus checks, they was getting that good old $800 a week, which was more than they was making at their job. Hey, that was a good time for them. That was a good time. Actually, it was so many people doing well off of that, they didn't want to go back to work. And so my homeboy at the time, he's a white dude. He's like my best friend. He really is. Because, okay, have you ever seen a group of black people? You ever seen a group of black people walking down the street and they got like one white dude with them? And like, you'd be like, why is that one white guy with that whole group of black people? You do not want to mess with that white dude because you don't like. I think who said it? It was Dave Chappelle. Hey, you don't know what he's done to get them dudes respect. They've seen him do some wild shit. That's my homeboy. My homeboy, he's always been down for the cause. When the shit got rough, my homeboy, hey, when I say he don't give a fuck, he do not give a fuck. So anyway, during COVID, I let him roll with me, you know, because he wasn't doing nothing, and didn't neither one of us have COVID. And so at that time, I could have people on the truck with me, so I let him roll. And so we rode, we toured the country, and we were coming through. But he, like, the thing about my homeboy, he's one of those, he's real like he's not antisocial, but you have to make him do shit. Like if I be like, hey man, I wanna go to the club, he'll be like, man, I ain't got no money, and you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, man, come on, stop being a bitch. Let's go to the club. And like the dude, he's not an ugly dude. So it's like the women like, you know, they fuck with him. The women fuck with him. The women like him. He's like the picture. He's like the model picture of a white guy. And his whole personality and his whole persona is like the template for a white dude, you know? So the girls like him, but he doesn't know, like, have you ever heard of somebody saying they don't know that they're cute, or they don't know that what is this dude doing? Why is you, okay, all right, I don't know what that little move was about, but whatever. So like, I be trying to tell him, I be like, bro, you could like, you know, get your fashion game up, or if you want to stay yourself, you know what I'm saying, clean yourself up, make yourself presentable, man, you can get the women. But I'm not gonna talk about my homeboy right now because I'm trying to get to the story. So anyway, I tell him, I was like, okay, come on in the truck, we tour the country, right? So we were going to, I think we were going to Florida again, coming from like Louisiana, or not Louisiana, we were coming from Texas or Houston or something. I think we were coming from Houston, right? So I was like, hey, let's stop in New Orleans. let's stop in New Orleans. Let's go hit Canal Street. I know it's COVID, but you know, I'm sure it was like right after like the cases started going down and stuff. And stuff was starting to open back up. And you know, so I'm thinking, I'm like, let's hit Canal Street. Let's find somewhere to park. We can go down there and we can go have a good time, because I never been. I've been through Baton Rouge. I've been through Louisiana. Like I go through Louisiana all the time, because you have to go through Louisiana from Texas to get anywhere in the southeast quadrant of the United States. That's just the way you go. You got to go through Louisiana, Shreveport. You got to go through Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, Alabama, if you're trying to get to Florida, or if you're trying to get to any city that's over there in that southeast portion of the country. So at first he was like, all right, well, let's do it, right? So my homeboy is one of those people, like, he'll say stuff because it sounds good. He'll agree with you because because he feel like that's what you want to hear. But then when it's time for the foot to hit the pedal, when it's time for the rubber to meet the road, when it's time to go, he'll be like, oh man, I don't feel good, I don't want to go. I'm like, man, bro, don't do that. And I told him, I was like, when we get to New Orleans, you know, don't be acting like no bitch, bro. We're gonna go. It's gonna be fun. It is going to be fun, bro. I'm telling you. So we get rolling, right? And in my head, what I'm not thinking about is when we get to New Orleans, this dude is like no other than a tourist. Like me, I can hold my own in any city. I'm from Dallas, so I can hold my own in pretty much any city. I'm mixed, you know. And so, like, hold on. What is that? It's a box. My bad. I had to be careful with that because I don't want to hit nothing. But I'm mixed, so I can hold my own in any demographic. You know, if I'm with the white folks, I can identify as a white boy. I can't identify as a white boy because they still know I'm black. But if I'm with the black folks, I identify as a black dude because I've lived in so many different places. I just know how to adapt. They call me the chameleon, and they also call me a ghost because I be dipping. But anyway, so we get close to New Orleans. I'm trying to find somewhere to park, and it was a little truck stop right there when you come over the bridge. Because when you right before you get to New Orleans, you go over this big bridge, and I'm sure all my truckers, y'all know what I'm talking about. And it was and then you see the city. Yo, I thought New Orleans was a small place. I thought it was a small little city. Hell nah, that city big in a mug, bro. It's a big ass city, yo. It's a big ass city. And I was like, damn, this is dope. So I find this little truck stop or whatever, and I pull in the truck stop, and I think it was like $10 a night to park, something like this. It was like $10 a night to park. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't. I don't know what's going on here. They must have some construction or something. So it was like $10 a park. So I parked, and it was like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes from Bourbon Street, Canal Street, the French Quarters. That's what they call it. They call it the French Quarters. And so I parked, and sure enough, my homeboy get to talking that shit. Man, I ain't got no money, man. I'm like, bro, it's Canal Street. You don't need no money. You go sightsee. Like, you just go see the sights. And so I call an Uber. We get ready. I leave my keys. You know, I don't take much money with me because, you know, I've heard things, and so I don't take much money with me, but I take my ID, and I take I hide my truck key on the outside of the truck. That way I don't have to worry about losing my house. Do you know when I was in California, I got locked out of my truck, and I had to call a locksmith. For some mysterious reason, I was already having a horrible time, and for some mysterious reason, bro, I noticed that. Okay, you know what? Woosah. For some mysterious reason, my I keep one key in the ignition and I keep one key on my key ring so I don't ever get locked out. But for some mysterious reason, my key had fell off the key ring and I locked the door. I got locked out and I had to call this locksmith. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. I'm not gonna go into it right now. I'm gonna finish telling you this New Orleans story. So we hop in the Uber, right? And I told the driver, I was like, hey, we tourists, man. We just want to go check out the spot. We want to go check out the spot and see how it is down there because we never been. He was like, I know exactly where to take you. And so we get to driving, right? So he started hitting all these cuts and these turns, and like more and more, I'm like getting kind of like terrified because it was nighttime. It was like 10:30 at night, or at that time it was like 10 o'clock. Like the deeper he gets into New Orleans, the more I'm like, I don't think this was a good idea. Like, I think that I should have thought about this a little bit more. Maybe I should have even come down here during the daytime because we're probably gonna get robbed. Like, we're probably gonna get robbed and possibly beat up, or maybe even something worse. That was the vibes I was getting from. That was the vibes I was getting. So we get down, you know, he busting all these different turns, and we get down into the French Quarters, and it was unlike anything I had ever seen before. Like, everything, like, I can't even explain it. It looked like something from another country, like a third world country or something. Like, it was crazy. Okay, now remember, I told y'all it was right after COVID, so everything was closed down, yo. And like, it was buildings that was like boarded up, and it was just a horrible, like, it just looked desolate. Desolate is the only word I can think of. And so I'm like, I'm almost about to pull a plug on this whole thing. I'm about to pull a plug on this whole experience because it's just not, it's not a good deal. It's not a good deal. And I'm scared. I'm scared. And then I got my white boyfriend with me, you know what I'm saying? You know, we going, you know, the French Quarters is for tourists, but if there ain't no tourists there, it's just like being in the hood. So anyway, the Uber driver, he pull up in front of this, he pull up in front of one of the buildings, and he was like, all right, here you go. Wasn't nobody around. And I'm like, bro, I thought we was going to the French Court, Canal Street. And he was like, this is Canal Street. I'm like, word? He's like, yeah. And so I'm like, all right, well, shit, I ain't finna be no bitch. I ain't gonna be no bitch. I'm finna get out. Like, come on, let's go. So we hop out the car. Yo, it's dead silence. At 10:30 at night in New Orleans, I didn't see nobody around. And so we start walking. And so I look up and I see, okay, that's Canal Street. I see Canal Street, and I see a few lights. And you know, it's kind of like a strip. And then once we get onto Canal Street, I see some people walking. I'm like, okay, we gonna be all right. It's not, you know what I'm saying, it's not that bad. It's other people here. We not by ourselves. So we get on this street. Hey, I got videos, and I'll post them. I'll post the videos when it gets closer to Mardi Gras time. I'll post the videos from that trip so y'all can see that I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. Like, this really went down that night. And so my homeboy, he having a good old time. He ain't even tripping. So we get to walk in. We walking down the street, and I'm like, man, let's see if we can find somewhere to go eat, because I was hungry. I wanted some authentic, you know, Cajun food. I wanted some gator. Man, why that? Bro, how many cars they gonna let go by, bro? Yo, they have literally sit here and made me fucking late, man. What the fuck, bro? What kind of shit? Like, every time you think that's the end of the line of cars, another line comes, and he's like moving cones. He's moving cones to make you, oh, here we go. He was like moving cones to make you think that it was about to be y'all turn to go, and then like, I'm not even finished. Oh, they're gonna pop up. Let me be cool. So anyway, we walking down Canal Street, and I look for some restaurants. I'm looking on Google for some restaurants, and I find this one restaurant. And so we walk up the street, and you know, it's like people like asking us for money and shit, asking us for cigarettes. And I don't remember if I had anything to drink, but I was feeling good, so I didn't really need nothing to drink. It was all good. I was having a good time. So we get into the restaurant, and I forgot what he ordered, but I ordered the